fans out there of Menage a Trois, you know, the Pixie Trick series. I personally love the webcomic, and there's a specific character in there that I share quite a bond. Her name is Yuki. And she's got this thing about tentacles. No, tentacles. Writhing, perverted tentacles. You have no idea how much I hate this subgenre. It is one of the lowest of the totem pole type experiences I have while ingesting any form of deranged media, and I have sat through a lot of hours of every facet of anime to reach this point, so you're gonna sit there and listen. This episode is Urotsukido. Hey, give me some credit. I said it better than last episode, right? To be more specific, it is Chojin Detsensu Urotsukidoji. And goddamn he who hath suggested me this. Now, in an attempt to save myself, the grotesque spectacle we have today is also called Legend of the Overfiend. Now, before you all start clickety-clacking down in the comments, I'm about to elaborate, so calm down, you pervs. This English title is actually what was given to the theatrical release in the West, which combined all 3 episodes of the first OVA into a single movie. And for the sake of my dark and twisted soul, comedy, and channel longevity, I'm showing that version. But oh, I've seen both, so this was fucking ridiculous.
You boys have a nice cock.
Grow up! The original run was from roughly 1987 to 1989 with an episode released each year, and it was helmed by Hideki Takayama, who made his entire career off the backs of demon seed and writhing slimy appendages. In other words, he's the fucking father of the subgenre, and if you haven't caught on by yet, this is where it all started. The writer of this little skin flick was Sho Ayakawa, who actually is pretty damn eclectic. This guy's written cult classics like The 12 Kingdoms, disappointing adaptations like Samurai Deeper Kyo, and straight-up masterworks like Vampire Princess Miyu, but also is responsible for one of the most disturbing anime made besides today's mindfuck.
Ha!
Genocider. But to be fair, the other person responsible for that one is Koichi Ohara, one of the guys that brought us anime's response to Starship Troopers. The setting is fed to us in 2 ways. The original OVA was a text crawl, but in The Legend of the Overfiend, it's narration, both expositing that the human realm is one of 3, and the other 2 are comprised of man-beasts named Zhuzhen, and the other is filled with demons, and then setting up the movie by laying out a prophecy.
The Chojin. His time has now come.
He isn't the only one coming. I'm sure of a few other things that are coming. I can't show you who's coming, but trust me, they're coming. The story focuses on a couple of high school kids, Jews, named Tatsuo and Akemi. 2 Zhuzhen siblings named Jiaku and Megumi.
Hey Megumi, what's the good word?
The Lord Jesus Christ. And their mascot Kuroku. This merry band has been prowling for the Chojin for nearly 300 years, and their search leads them to Tatsuo, which, because he's a major peeping Tom, leads them to Akemi, who is getting straight up raped by a multi-tentacle wielding fucking machine that makes no anatomical sense. Jiaku fights off the demon.
Counter-Strike.
Brought to you by Thou.
And somehow these 2 become an item after this, because porn.
Thank you.
Whoa!
I'm sorry, wait. I know I'm getting a tad off track, but you cannot go back to the silly after a tentacle rape scene. You cannot. You have crossed the line. You are past the horizon. The points of no return and all sense of adequate storytelling are now lost to you. Now, the original manga from which this is based actually is rife with much dark comedic subplots throughout the many story arcs. But here, the comedic bits only last until maybe the end of the first episode. But before, after, and during that...
Oh God, what's happening to me?
It's called puberty. Or hell. It's hell. Yup, handcrafted perversion and mass destruction. And that's the best part of waking up. Now, regardless of the sexual, violent, and story-driven content, the animation is fucking amazing. This is truly a pinnacle of late 80s anime, probably utilizing color and fluidity that would make it stand as a disgusting, horrifying, and slutty rival to Fantasia. I am serious. You watch this and tell me that you see no influence from the Night on Ball Mountain. Those are the rapiest eyes I have ever seen. The story traces along with Jiyaku aiding Tatsuo on a quest to unify the three realms and bring about a golden age for all, and those who are trying to stop him, because establishment politics and stuff. Now, this is where the differences between the original and the movie really start to split, and you can blame two things, the dubbing and the editing. In what way, you might ask? Every fucking way. Legend of the Overfiend had a ton of the original material edited down or flat out removed to make it more of a standardized leg for a film, and to remove much of the outright explicit nature of the sex scenes. Additional animation was added to bridge the gap that would arise, and was washed over with the same digital process as Pokemon. But guess what? It didn't help. It ended up making an irrevocably horrible jumbling of a plot and film that was more confusing than it was degrading. Isn't it fun that learning is bringing us together?
No!
Well, fuck. But I probably wouldn't have made any particular mention of this unless I had seen the original first, despite all the odd phallic injections into the story and setting. The room is fucking. All the disturbing gore and horror fantasy elements. This kind of reminds me of something. Even the names are almost the same. All of the randomized sex scenes that barely serve as fodder for plot mobility.
Suck it, you shit.
P.
The story is actually pretty damn good. And the whole concept behind the manga and subsequently the anime is actually pretty unique in its methodology and its mythology, and the writing is stark, brutal, and downright engrossing. Kinda. And only in the Japanese version. Not only is every semblance of wit, intelligence, or emotion stripped bare from the English release, but so is any semblance of a fucking coherent story or retaining character traits, like the character Neki. He's interested in Amani and that we'd be so great together because I really want to fuck you, and regardless of how sleazy your apparent boyfriend is, he's tripled that in my mind and I want to kill him to fuck you, but I'm just going to sit here and pout to let parademons show up after my parents collectively whip my ass and offer me a demon cock to make me the tooth-collecting asshole from Gantz so I can eat the blood and cum of Tatsuo and become my own tentacle penis monster phase. You know, puberty. He then kills his parents to gain the power of a demon dick, and...
Why don't you come with me, huh? I'll show you how good a real man can make you feel.
Apparently he's now from the Bronx. Hey, Nikki, get that fun ass over here.
Fukakuju, you're still alive?
Oh look, the character we didn't meet because you reshuffled it and made it stupid. The voice acting is so damn lazy that collected with the choppy editing and restitching the story, it pulls away from any and all great elements of the work, and not just the shocking and disturbing, but all the effort that was put into this. Entering the modern era of extremely cheap and oversaturated sleaze, this was something that actually had a fairly limited number of sex scenes, especially the tentacles, and a high concentration on the story and style. It's just damn impressive in large segments. Well, there were a few bits that were a little high on the what the fuck meter. That is unedited. That was just him in both versions.
It's just that I'm so happy we're finally together.
She has nearly been raped twice tonight. You know the difference between jet fuel and me? I can melt steel beams. The story pulls a couple more bait and switches and adds a few more situations that require more black bars than there are visual material, and it ends with a doozy series of cliffhangers.
My father must now destroy the world to prepare for my coming.
You're coming late to the party, hon. Everyone's came already. Your dad ain't stopped yet.
There will be nothing left if you do not kill him now.
I'm cooking with a mouth of barbecue sauce. I could go on and make jokes and pop culture references for an eternity, believe me, but there are some incidentally batshit moments throughout this thing. But wrapping this up, I'm on the weirdest ground I could be when approaching anything. I've sat through some pretty gnarly shit from the spiderweb of spectrums that exist, and this remains by far one of the most torn sits of any series. On the one hand, I feel that the animation, the original acting, and most of the original writing were legit. But then you have the tentacles, out-of-place character trait jumps, and penis-centric imagery and half-cross-stitch ending messages that...
It is the law of the universe. The old must be destroyed to make way for the new. It must be.
You're throwing a moral into this?
What is wrong with the three worlds as they exist now? Tell me! Why must they be destroyed?
Because I am not satisfied with them.
It's Noah. You made a goddamn tentacle rape monster shooting lasers from multiple dicks like snakes barfing Kamehamehas the Flood. Holy shit! I can't. I'm just done. Just spin the wheel and get it over with. Check the lies. Fuck. Yes!